At least I know I'm not interfering. I don't know why I was supposed to.
All right, and good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining in on this fine Thursday afternoon. Once again, this is Freestyle Solutions, or Freestyle Software, rather. And we're going to be talking today about the power of Amazon and how it relates to our solution, Freestyle Mom. We're also going to be touching in on Prime Day 2018. But before we begin, a few housekeeping rules. And we're going to have this webinar recording, so if you have to drop off because you have something to take care of, or you want to share this with any members of your team, this will be available tomorrow morning for you to view and watch again at your own leisure. We will be able to answer and field all questions that you may have. Feel free to place them in the questions panel. We'll be able to go through that as those questions come in. And then also we do have some handouts available. Today's slide deck is available in PDF form, plus our Amazon sheet is also available for you to look at. Joining me today, just before we go into introductions, I do have our Director of Sales and Marketing, Jim Cahill, and also our Director of Product, Inoano, joining me today. If you guys just want to say a quick hello.
Hello. Hello.
So we're going to go right into it with a quick agenda. We're going to recap Prime Day 2018, which was a pretty significant 36 hours for Amazon through the trials and tribulations of their site down to the actual what they did. We're going to meet Mom. We're going to talk a little bit about multi-channel order manager. We're going to talk about some common business issues that many people are aware of when dealing with Amazon or just dealing with e-commerce in general. We're going to talk scenarios through. Ian's going to talk about the Amazon and OMS integration and scenario that you may have to deal with currently. And then we're going to go into that and show you and talk about the Amazon and Mom scenario. Ian's actually going to go into Mom itself and show you some of the screens of how that runs and talk a little bit more detailed about that. We'll give you a nice little recap, and then obviously last chance for some Q&A, but you can ask us questions anytime throughout this webinar. So let's talk about Prime Day 2018. It was a very successful one, I would say, the least for Amazon. Their estimated projections for total revenue is anywhere between 4.01 and 4.38 billion. Compare that to 2017, where they did 2.41 billion. That is a year-over-year jump of 66%. If you are a small and medium-sized business selling on Amazon, congratulations, you were part of their $1 billion in sales on Prime Day. Earlier reports from Amazon noted that over 100 million products were sold, and they also had the most Prime signups ever done during that Prime Day. We'll go over a little bit more information on that in a little bit. Talking about some of the products that we do have, the Echo Dot and the Fire Sticks were actually the most popular sellers along with other consumer electronics. We look at other retailers and what they did to combat that, and this is also something to think about for your businesses as well. Other retailers such as Best Buy, Target, Barnes & Noble, more, combated Prime Day with their own Cyber Monday type deals that helped drive business. And Target was one to notice a big increase in traffic during their Cyber Monday type deal. So, a couple things to think about is how, and we mentioned some of the other retailers combining with that with doing their own Cyber Monday type deals. But, taking a look at what you would consider doing, and how would you combat this Prime Day, because it is a big drive in revenue. It actually did a lot better, and it is looking for a much more positive holiday season in this 2018. This should be a trend of what we can see from Amazon and other retailers during the Thanksgiving holiday. But I'm going to throw it over to Jim, who has a little bit more information as well.
Thank you, Sean. And as Sean mentioned, the results for our Prime Day are still coming in. It'll be a few days yet, even in this era of instant analytics, before we know the true revenue, the true impact of Prime Day. But aside from the numbers, which are important and kind of startling, actually, it's important to note the trend of Prime Day as well. So it's the fourth annual version of what some call a made-up holiday, and a made-up shopping event that has become a real imagination grabber for much of the country and much of the world. One of the interesting things about Prime Day is how it's progressed, not only in revenue, but the way that Amazon treats it. An analyst had called Prime Day as one of the biggest and worst sidewalk sales ever. And that was the initial version of it. Now people are looking at it and saying that Amazon has moved from clearing out the warehouse and overstocks and things that people not necessarily wanted, but moving on to featuring more properly things and gifts and items that people are excited about buying. And with all the information we have so far, it's important to note that the glitch or the outage that Amazon suffered on its own website, theoretically because of intense demand, cost them anywhere between $70 and $100 million in lost sales. By itself, that's quite a large number, and many retailers will be happy to see that in a single day, week, or in some cases a year. But Amazon loses $70 million and still manages to record a year-over-year increase in sales of 66% as compared to last Prime Day. We also saw the expansion of Prime Day to not so much a day, but a 36-hour event. Imagine how long Prime Day will be next year. Will it be Prime 2 days, Prime week? What is it going to be, Prime weekend? Only Amazon knows that for sure. And Sean touched upon how other retailers responded, and we certainly invite your questions and comments and thoughts about how you marketed against Prime Day or how you marketed to join in on the noise around Prime Day, either through your Amazon marketplace or through your own storefront. But we saw results for Target, and Target's sales on Prime Days exceeded Cyber Monday. And traditionally, Cyber Monday was one of the capstones of the holiday shopping season. So as Sean said before, we can expect Prime Day to be, kind of an indicator of how the holiday shopping season is going to play out this year. And if economic conditions stay the same, it could be a very, very Merry Christmas for some e-tailers, or probably all e-tailers. So some great facts. We'll share more in a blog post to come recapping all of this. But there's some really, really big news around Prime Day, and they're very exciting as it turned out for a made-up holiday. Okay. Sean?
Okay. Thanks, Jim. So, I mean, it's interesting to see, and it's always been the common discussion in the industry is like, how do you combat Amazon? Well, I mean, one way you can do that is by joining their Seller Central. They're now Seller Fulfilled Prime, and then you can also sell your products on Amazon, and Amazon ships it out through Fulfilled by Amazon. So there's a lot of ways to join in on the fun with Amazon, so to speak. So let's, move forward ahead, because we'll be talking a lot more Amazon as we go along through this. Let's just take a brief pause and talk about Multi-Channel Order Manager, or MOM for short. It's your industry-leading order and inventory management solutions. We've been around for 30 years, started as a cataloging company, and we have evolved as the times have evolved. We specialize in managing orders, customer inventory across multiple e-commerce platforms. So you may have a marketplace present on Amazon, but you also may be selling on a e-commerce platform like a Shopify plus BigCommerce or Magento. So you want to help manage those sales that come in, so you have one view of all your sales, manage your inventory, and also be able to handle any call center orders that you may get as well. Like I said, we've been around for over 30 years. We do have a large feature set from that time we've been around. Plus, we do have a broad range of direct integrations plus robust APIs, one of those direct integrations that we will be talking about. And you can also download this one-page information sheet that we have about it is Amazon. So with MOM, we do offer the order management. Like I said, we have the ability to view orders in one location from all channels. We do have a simple order entry for those who do place phone orders with your customer service reps. Easy way to view orders by different statuses, giving you the ability to quickly process your orders. We have different ways to go ahead and process those. We do have on our YouTube channel an overview of the order management side of Multi-Channel Order Manager. So you can take a look at that on youtube.com/freestyle OMS anytime you want to take a look at that. We have the batch processes for pick, pack, and ship, also a packer's workstation giving you the ability to process the orders the way you want, and then also the ability to print shipping labels directly within MOM for multiple carriers. And also, because I want to talk and touch about inventory, I did mention how we are an inventory and order management solution. So your central location for inventory across all channels. You can manage and create purchase orders, eliminating stockouts. support for multi-warehouse and multiple bins for a product in a single warehouse. You can track your inventory down to the bin level, and you can also go and track your inventory down to a lot level if you are in the industry of nutraceutical, or you do have to track expiration dates. We have the ability to go down to a lot level for you. We have some RMA capabilities, scan and receive your inventory, manage physical inventory counts, as well as wireless scanning capabilities. And once again, we do have a short video on that on our YouTube page. And then some key values, just wrapping all this portion up. Support order fulfillment for multiple sales channels. So you synchronize your inventory across multiple channels. We have your customer CRM capabilities, and then also we do have some omni-channel support. I'm going to take a quick commercial break here real quick. We'll be right back we'll go into the key problems that you have with not only Amazon but some e-commerce, and then Ian will dive right into our scenario that we're going to be sharing today. All right, and we're back. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Like I said in the beginning of this webinar, we do have some handouts available with the slide deck included, as well as our Amazon one-page sheet. And then also this is recording for your viewing pleasure at a later time. Let's talk about some common business problems. Obviously, you want inventory visibility across your Amazon marketplace and other sales channels. You want compliance with Amazon seller fulfilled and retailer guidelines. You also want to make sure that your delivery guidelines, and you want to control your shipping costs. Finally, you want to manage item pricing across all your other sales channels. So what we're going to do is Ian's actually going to go into a scenario where we talk about the Amazon fulfillment and then also Amazon seller fulfilled Prime. We're going to talk about two different scenarios where we're going to look at Amazon, which will give you the idea of how to probably currently handle it, and then also how Mom will handle it as well. We do have a couple of questions as we go along here, and you can answer them as you wish. How long have you been selling on Amazon, and what is your vertical industry that you sell in? So without further ado, I'm going to switch it over to Ian, who's going to be talking a little bit about Amazon. Ian.
Thanks, Sean. So here we're going to have a scenario where we have a client, we have a company called Great Outdoor Companies, where we're gonna simulate these scenarios on how Amazon works with Mom and how Amazon Prime works with Mom. So we're gonna go through those scenarios together. So our company is Great Outdoors Company. It's a fictional company in Dover, New Hampshire. So here's our CSR, Sam. And Sam typically handles the OMS and Amazon. And, for straightforward, handle those orders. And in order to actually handle OMS orders and Amazon orders, Sam has to log into Amazon Sales Central, print a packing slip, buy shipping if you do Prime, and then manually enter those orders from Amazon FBA or Prime orders into the OMS, and then process the orders on OMS. And after we process them, we ship them out, and then we have to update the Amazon shipping information back to Amazon. So you can see on a small scale, you can repeat this process, and you're taking 1 or 2 orders a day. That's definitely doable for Sam. He's still happy. But you can imagine if this is something that you do on a daily basis, and you have to scale, and you have the number of orders keep increasing, that could become a challenge for CSRs and hard to manage. And you can see where this could be frustrating for CSR or whoever is processing these orders. So Next scenario we have is if you have the Amazon and with the Freestyle system. So you can see when you integrate Amazon with Freestyle, you'll get a couple steps taken away so that you can do all the functionality within the MOM system or the OMS. So you'll be able to download orders directly in MOM. You can upload acknowledgement. So once you confirm that you download it, we can send a nudge to Amazon letting you know that's been downloaded. We can upload package information. So after you process the order and shipped it in MOM, we can send the information back to Amazon. And for Prime orders, we can now print shipping labels for Prime orders. Now, if you guys are not familiar with Prime, basically Amazon released that program last year around June, where you can join up the program where they require you to print the labels within the Amazon Seller Central, because they'll ensure that the labels that you're printing or the can accommodate the promise date of when the product's supposed to be delivered. So Amazon allows the merchant to use the Prime label, but for exchange, Amazon wants to guarantee that the particular package will get to the end client or consumer on time. So what Amazon does to do that is they actually give you the available services that you can choose from that can deliver that product on time. So that's why it requires you to print labels on Amazon. But with the MOM integration, now you can print that label within the system. Again, once you print the labels, if there's any order adjustments or refunds, we can upload the adjustments, and we can also sync inventory to Amazon, as well as publish product information. So again, you have the same capabilities as regular OMS, but now the method and workflow that we're presenting here is much more scalable if you're doing more than a couple orders per day.
So we're going to take, once again, I know Ian shared a lot of information here. We're going to take a quick pause. I'm going to actually hand the reins over to Ian's screen so Ian can show the integration of the Amazon, especially the seller fulfilled stuff that he was talking about in terms of creating that shipping label. We'll show that as when we come right back from this quick break. All right, and like I said, we are back here. Feel free to ask any and all questions you may have. Like I said, this is recording for later viewing, as well as we do have two documents readily available for you to download. I'm going to hand it over to Ian real quick, who's going to go ahead and talk about the integration with Amazon within MOM.
Thanks, Sean. Before we get into the actual process and the workflow, I want to go over some of the configurations. So within the MOM system, we're going to have an e-commerce management where you can define that setting. Here, you'll be able to map out all the different options you have for Amazon. So these are your credentials to connect to your store. And you also have controls on the batch scheme, and we'll see this just a little bit, which tasks you can do in batch and which one you don't want to do in batch. So you have control of it right here. Over here, we also have some defaults. So if you're downloading orders on Amazon, you can set a default source key, shipping method, order priority if you'd like. You can also put in the product on a fly. And the reason we do that is that sometimes if you haven't set up the system just yet, we can still import the orders, but this would act as a placeholder for the actual product that's coming in. So once your product is actually set up in MOM, then the product on the fly will be overwritten, and you no longer need that. We also have default source sales ID, order type, pay method. We also have certain controls on batch fulfillment, and we do that because sometimes during the holiday season, Amazon will throttle certain merchants, and there's certain requirements to that. So we allow the merchants to control how much they want to send up or request on the Amazon side by feed. On the Prime orders, like I mentioned before, we can define a shipping method for Prime. You can also you can also assign a certain service ID if you'd like. So if you want all Prime orders to come in as ground, you can assign that. Or you can set a logic here so that as it comes in, it does some rate shopping for you, or some logic where you can either pick the lowest shipping cost or you can do the fastest delivery. So the way we do the label is that we actually request the label from Amazon, and we download it locally, and then we print it for you. So the label path here represents where that label is going to be downloaded to. So that's where we're going to save that label, and when we print it, that's where actually we print it from. And Amazon requires a shipping service label to do the integration, so you put that information here. And on inventory, you have controls on how much you want to take from your current inventory or want to replenish it, so you have some rules and logics here. You can also import-export the categories that you have for Amazon if you'd like. And on a side note, we do support FBA, so you can also import-export FBA inventory here. So once you have this all set up, you would obviously set up the product. Now, I'm just going to go quickly to any product here. I'll show you what that looks like. Within our e-com, if you want to publish products from moms to Amazon, you can actually control it here. You can check this box, and then you have all this information that you can fill in: UPC, quantity, the pricing, the weight, the dimension, the manufacturer, the brand, the categories, and things. You can collect that all here, and what we do is we publish that right to Amazon, making Mom the system of record and very easy to use. You also have extended information, images, and again, you can actually override the general rule that we saw for inventory. You can put that on the stock level so that each stock SKU can have its own rule on how you want to sync it, or manage the inventory. So once all that's set up, what the screen you're going to most likely be working with is our e-commerce manager station. So we have an icon for it right here, and you would be reviewing this. So typically what you would do is you would download the orders from Amazon. So it would be right here, so you could download orders. And then once the order is downloaded, you would run the acknowledgement for Amazon. And once the acknowledgement is uploaded, that's in the Mom system. So at that point, you've downloaded the orders into Mom, and you acknowledged it. So now at this point, you would be ready to print it out. So then on our Mom side, you would be just processing it as a regular order. So you'd process your pick tickets, packing slips, and your invoice. Once that's completed, you would go back to the manager station to upload the shipping information. So you would upload package information that will send the tracking information back to Amazon and marking it shipped on that side, completing the cycle.
And then just one thing to adjust, I know Ian's going through it, the whole order process, and how we go through it rather quickly because, we want to show you the Amazon stuff. But if you are interested in the order processing and how it works within Mom, we do have that available on our YouTube channel. A lot of cheap plugs today. That's worth it.
Thanks, Sean. That's for the regular MWS order, so if you're not doing Prime. But if you are doing Prime, like I said, we also print the label. So within here, I'm going to bring up a Prime order that I downloaded earlier today. You can see we download the order as the Mom internal order, and we also have the Amazon order on top. But you can see we can buy shipping within Mom. So you no longer need to go to Amazon to print the label or buy shipping there. You can actually buy it from here. You can tell Mom what services you want. So you can see this is the same. If you're familiar with Prime, this is almost the same screen that you would see on the Amazon side. It tells you what services is available for you and when is the estimated delivery date for it and how much it's going to cost you as a merchant. So here on the screen, you can pick and choose which one will work best for you. And then you can choose that and save that. And once you save it, that will actually save it as UPS ground, and I could go to my fulfillment, and I would be able to print the label for this. So there's two ways to print the label. Obviously, you can print it here one at a time, or you can actually go to our manager station, and there's also a stage here where you can print shipping label for Amazon Prime orders. So if you had a couple Prime orders that's ready to go, you can see that I have a couple listed here. We can print all of them in one shot if you'd like, or you can put a start and ending range. So if you want to do it by batches of 10 or 20, whatever you'd like, you can change the range here. and that would process those Amazon orders and print those the labels accordingly for each of those orders. So you can see I have one for FedEx, USPS, Priority, and another one for USPS Priority here. So again, pretty straightforward. Once that's done, and we print the label, Amazon will send us the tracking information for that particular package, and we update the MOM system, the market ship on our side. So that's the end-to-end process. Again, once you use our system with Prime or just regular Amazon MWS, it really makes the life easier for your CSRs or your fulfillment team, because they're not going back and forth in two different systems and manually importing information back and forth. So with the MOM system in the background, it really enhances the order workflow and makes the life of your CSRs or fulfillment team much easier.
Cool. Thanks again for that. We are going to take our final pause as Ian shifts screens back from him to myself, and then we'll wrap everything up. We will be right back. If you guys do have any questions, feel free to ask. All right, and we're back here. We do have a couple questions here. One of them comes from Bob over here. Let me look at it a little bit. So we were showing everything here about seller fulfilled Prime.
Yep.
What version of MOM is it on, and does the Amazon functionality work in previous versions, or specifically for Prime, what version do I need to be on?
Sure. Let me just take that as a whole. Amazon module itself, the MWS support, has been around since MOM version 8, but seller fulfilled Prime is specifically in MOM version 10.
Okay. You did also mention some stuff about FBA. We do sell a little bit on FBA. What do we have to do to make our FBA work with MOM?
Right now, it's not. So what you saw today was a direct feed angle where you saw that we can press a button, orders downloads, and we can sync inventories and such. FBA is a slightly different integration where it goes to our import-export module where it's a flat file. So typically you would export a flat file from Amazon, and we would take that format and bring it into the MOM system, and then MOM will handle those orders as FBA orders where it'll take from certain bins, FBA bins and MOM. So if we want more detail on that, we can demo that at a different time, or we can follow up with you guys on that.
And last but not least, it's great that you guys can now print the Prime labels out of MOM, just signed up ourselves. Is it, how quick is it? Is it really, with best practice, is it to do it individually, or can we do it as a batch? I think you showed batch, but.
I mean, ideally you'd want to do a batch depending on how many orders you have. The way we do it is if you do it in batch, obviously you can have more volume, but some of my clients that I've worked with at Amazon Prime, they actually want to handle it one at a time because they want to make sure that they actually pick the right services and ensure that it's going to the right location. Because again, Amazon's pretty strict on some of their qualifications on shipments, so you want to make sure that all your shipments are getting to the right address and on time because they're ready on that. And there's certain requirements to stay in that program. So some of my clients are processing Prime orders one at a time. What they do is they actually go to list as pending in MOM and get a list of Amazon Prime orders and target them first, prioritizing them first, make sure to print the proper labels for them, get them out of the system, and then they go ahead and process the regular Amazon orders. So, so there's merit there, but I can see where if it's scale, we also added the logic in the setup where it can automatically pick the lowest cost. So you don't necessarily need to check all the orders. Our system will pick the lowest shipping cost for you as a merchant, and then we'll print the label for you according to that logic. So you don't necessarily have to open all the orders. You can just go straight to batch and print all the labels that you need. So it really depends on where you are. If you're maybe just starting up with Prime and you're worried about your ratings and shipment delivery percentage, you want to make sure that you want to check all the orders. But if you're past that and you're starting to trust the system, then batch may be a way to go for you.
All right, cool. Thanks, Ian. So as we're wrapping things up, let's just recap what we showed and what we talked about with Amazon. Obviously, with Amazon, one of the biggest things is saving time and energy by having a process that automates it, like Freestyle Mom and how it automates the Amazon process. So you know you're getting the information entered incorrectly and properly because it's pulling the information automatically. There's no manual entry. It's getting it done yourself, which in turn it makes it easier to scale your business because you're having everything all in one system rather than having your Amazon system, your e-commerce system, and something in between to print out the labels or going through UPS, USPS to get those labels. You can do it directly within one system. And then also you have the ability to get your orders out of the door faster, mainly with fewer errors and into your happily awaiting customers in a timely and efficient manner. And especially if you're a Prime seller, you want to make sure you get that within their window. So what we're going to do is we want to thank you for all the questions. If you do have more questions, feel free to ask right now. But I wanted to wrap things up here. I wanted to thank you guys for joining us. If there are any questions and concerns that you have, you can reach us out at 800-858-3666. You can email us directly at marketing@freestylesolutions.com. Once again, I'm Sean. That was Ian who showed you, and Jim did have some great insight about Prime Day. I want to thank you for joining us today. Feel free to bring us any of your questions, and we'll hear from you soon. Thank you.
Thank you.